Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Jess Edwards reflects on Paradise and meeting Spencer Conley 1 year later. What is life? Bachelor Nation saw Spencer Conley and Jess Edwards fall in love and get engaged on Season 10 of Bachelor in Paradise. Since then, the two have been keeping fans updated with their adventures online and enjoying their lives as a couple. This week, Jess shared on social media that it's officially been a year since she left for Bachelor in Paradise and met Spencer on the beach. In a new video online, she reflected on that time and shared behind-the-scenes clips of her flying to Costa Rica. Over a video of her at the airport, she said, "This is actually so insane. I found this video of my friends dropping me off at the airport. I had a couple glasses of wine while waiting for my flight, and I was so nervous." Jess then showed herself in a van, driving to the filming location, and revealed it was a 4-hour car ride. "I was legit in the middle of nowhere. So I said, I'm gonna take a nap, and then I woke up 5 minutes before I was supposed to arrive," she said. Jess noted that when she woke up, she started freaking out. The Bachelor Nation star also shared a selfie of her and Spencer on Instagram story and revealed that they got engaged a month after arriving in Costa Rica. She reflected, "Little did I know I'd be coming home with a fiancé a month later. What is life?" Fans filled the comments of Jess' post with love for the Bachelor Nation couple. One person wrote, "No, because you're everything," and another said, "So crazy. Loved watching your love story unfold," one follower chimed in, "Makes me so happy," and another added, "And look at you all now. Time flies. We can't believe it's already been a year. We love Jess and Spencer together, and we're so happy they found each other on Paradise. We're so excited to see what the future holds for these two lovebirds." Jess Edwards leaned back in her chair, sunlight pouring through the window as if it too wanted to listen. A year ago, her life had been something else entirely, structured, predictable, almost quiet in its own way. And then came Paradise, a whirlwind of emotions, unexpected connections, and moments that still didn't feel entirely real. "What is life?" She laughed, shaking her head, the phrase slipping out like it had 100 times before, half disbelief, half gratitude. Because really, how do you explain going from ordinary days to a love story that unfolds under cameras, pressure, and the constant hum of uncertainty? When Jess first stepped onto the sandy shores of Paradise, she wasn't chasing perfection. She wasn't even sure what she was chasing. Maybe clarity, maybe a connection that felt undeniable, or maybe just an experience that would shake her out of the routine she'd grown too comfortable in. "I remember thinking, just be yourself. That's all you can control," she said. "But even that felt hard sometimes. You're in this environment where everything is heightened, every feeling, every conversation. It's like living a month of life in a single day." And then there was Spencer Conley. She paused when his name came up, a soft smile forming almost instinctively. Not dramatic, not exaggerated, just real. Meeting Spencer wasn't like some movie moment with fireworks, Jess admitted. It was quieter than that. But somehow, their first conversation wasn't perfect. There were awkward pauses, a few nervous laughs, and the kind of uncertainty that makes you second-guess every word. But there was also something else, something steady. "It felt easy," she said, "and that surprised me the most. In a place where everything moves fast, connections forming and breaking within days, that sense of ease became their anchor. They didn't rush into declarations or grand gestures. Instead, they built something slowly, piece by piece, conversation by conversation. People don't always see that part," Jess reflected. "They see the big moments, the drama, the decisions. But the real connection, that happens in the quiet in between." A year later, those quiet moments are the ones she remembers most clearly. The late-night talks when the cameras felt like they faded into the background. The shared jokes that made no sense to anyone else. The way Spencer listened, not just to respond, but to understand. "That's rare," she said simply. Of course, it wasn't all smooth. Being in Paradise tests you in ways real life doesn't, Jess admitted. You're constantly questioning, is this real? Is this just the environment? Would this work outside of here? Those questions didn't disappear when filming ended. If anything, they got louder. Returning to real life meant facing distance, schedules, expectations, and the sudden shift from a shared bubble to separate worlds. It's like going from 100 to 10 overnight, she explained. And you have to figure out how to keep that connection alive without everything that made it so intense. For Jess and Spencer, that meant choosing each other, again and again, even when it wasn't easy. There were moments where we had to really communicate, she said. Not the fun, flirty conversations from paradise, but the real ones, the hard ones. And yet, those moments became the foundation of something stronger. Anyone can fall for someone in a perfect setting, Jess said. But building something in real life? That's where it matters. Now, 1 year later, she looks back not with regret or confusion, but with a kind of awe. I still have those moments where I think, how did this happen? She laughed. Like, out of all the people, all the paths, we found each other there. It's not lost on her how unlikely it all is. Two people, different backgrounds, different stories, meeting in a place designed for connection, but not guaranteed to create something lasting. And yet, here we are, she said softly. Their relationship today doesn't look exactly like it did in paradise. It's quieter, more grounded, less about big gestures and more about consistency. It's the little things now, Jess shared. Checking in on each other, showing up, being honest. And maybe that's what makes it feel more real than ever. She admits that the experience changed her, not just in terms of love, but in how she sees herself. I learned that I'm stronger than I thought, she said. That I can be vulnerable and still be okay. That I don't have to have everything figured out to take a chance. That last part lingers, because if there's one thing paradise taught her, it's that life doesn't always follow a plan. You can't script these things, Jess said. You can't predict who you'll meet or how they'll impact you. And maybe that's the beauty of it. When asked what she would tell her past self, the version of her stepping onto that beach for the first time, Jess didn't hesitate. I'd say, trust the process, even when it's messy, even when it's confusing. Just trust it. She smiled again, that same quiet, genuine expression. Because sometimes, the most unexpected paths lead you exactly where you're meant to be. As for Spencer, he's still very much a part of that path. We've grown a lot, she said, individually and together, and I think that's what matters most. There's no dramatic conclusion, no perfectly wrapped ending. Just two people continuing to figure things out, one day at a time. And maybe that's what makes Jess's story so relatable. It's not about perfection. It's not about a fairy tale. It's about taking a chance, embracing uncertainty, and finding something real in the middle of it all. What is life? She laughed again, the words carrying a little more meaning now. Not a question anymore, but a kind of wonder. And perhaps that's the best answer she could give.